Palo Duro Canyon is a wonder here on the high plains with its natural rock formations and vast history covering thousands of years. Our Jack Kessler went to Palo Duro Canyon to get an inside look at the Civilian Conservation Corps' work and how it's still present throughout the canyon.
In early 1933, Fred A. Ermey agreed to transfer most of the more than 15,000 acres of land he owned and what we now know as Palo Duro Canyon State Park to the Texas State Parks Board with the use of a proposed loan from the Federal Reconstruction Finance Corporation. That loan would be repaid from park operation income. However, after President Roosevelt's inauguration, officials of the National Park Service saw Palo Duro Canyon as a likely site for one of the anticipated 1,300 initial CCC projects. That loan was then abandoned, and the Texas State Park Board purchased the land from Ermey, kickstarting the CCC's work.
So you see, the tremendous expansion of the Texas park system during this time. So CCC workers were employed to go out and build cabins and lodges and build roads and so forth. Even at Palo Duro Canyon State Park near Amarillo, that's one of the main New Deal state parks. And so you see this tremendous creation of different infrastructure, providing public access to those natural resources.
According to the Texas State Historical Commission, the first three companies of CCC enrollees, made up of World War I veterans, would arrive in July of 1933, and after setting up their camp, their first task was to construct the road from the rim of the canyon to its floor. From 1933 until 1937, 1,200 men would work at Palo Duro Canyon with the CCC to build public buildings and cabins, roads, bridges, culverts, as well as hiking trails.
First thing you're going to notice about our CCC structures here is, of course, that sort of cobblestone-esque architecture that you can see behind us here. So whether that's on the roadway here, on some of our trailways like the CCC trail, that sort of cobblestone-esque architecture, that's all made out of the Tasajillo sandstone here from the canyon.
The formal opening of the nearly 1.5-mile rim to bottom road was observed in November of 1933, and Palo Duro Canyon State Park would formally open on July 4th, 1934. Many of the CCC structures that were built are still standing or still in use at Palo Duro Canyon.
It's super important that we have these facilities here, the CCC structure still intact, because it really shows the sort of ingenuity, if you will, of the men who came here to help build up our state park. Their perseverance, because this would have been really hard work for them to not only carry all that heavy stone, to not only build the structures like we see here, but the roadway as well. So it really is a testament to sort of their endearing spirit here, and also to what they built up here.
At Palo Duro Canyon, Jack Kessler, KMR Local 4 News.
According to Texas Historical Commission, the CCC project at Palo Duro Canyon State Park was one of the few to include workers from each of the three special groups: veterans, African Americans, and juveniles. And if you want to learn more about the CCC and what they did at Palo Duro Canyon, the park has an exhibit located at the El Coronado Lodge Visitor Center, which was built in 1934. We have more information about the CCC's work at Palo Duro Canyon waiting for you at myhighplains.com. Many people were vital in getting the relief of the New Deal into the hands of the American people. That includes people here on the High Plains, including two men that were unsung heroes of the New Deal here in the area. Coming up tomorrow morning on Today in Amarillo, Jack Kessler shares the stories of Asa Meredith and Guy A. Carlander. It is 5:16 coming up. We'll tell you about a few deals from around the area that may help